Hello, Earthlings. How are you? Good. We match. Yeah, we do match. We're both wearing blue shirts, just about the same shade. How are you today, Joe? I'm a little despondent. Well, I know that you and I like big words, but in case anyone doesn't know what despondent means, can you explain a little bit further? I am down in the dumps. Down in the dumps? Oh no, why are you down in the dumps? I keep missing math problems. Joe, that's okay. Mistakes are opportunities for learning. If you already knew everything, then teachers wouldn't have a job. You learn from your mistakes, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, well, you know the problem I need help with. Okay, Joe, let's go ahead and look at the problem that you asked me about earlier today. Joe remembers doing this on one of the Mastery Connect assignments. And Joe told me that what happened was when he looked at this, he had no idea what any of this meant, so he just guessed at it. That's not always a good strategy. Remember, Mrs. Salyer says, always start with what you know. So I want you to copy down our problem in your math journal, the equation, which is 1 2/7 minus 4/9. Okay, this is subtracting fractions, and you know how to do that. Now, anytime you have a mixed number, you can always turn it into an improper fraction. We typically don't teach you to do that when we're subtracting fractions, but these people who make the test, they always try to trick you and make things difficult. So because I see over here some calculations that make me think that, that's what we're going to do. So I want you to go ahead and turn this into an improper fraction by making it mad. You're going to say 7 times 1 is 7 plus 2 is 9. So now our problem becomes 9/7 minus 4/9. Well, if you figure out and you go through and you look at your least common multiple, then you're going to figure out that it's 63. So now I want you to think about what are you going to have to do here to get your numerators. You're saying, what do I multiply 9 by to get 63? By 7. Whatever you do to the denominator, you also do to the numerator. See, these are things that you already know. What do you multiply 7 by to get 63? 9. Whatever you do to the numerator, you do, the denominator, you do to the numerator. Now, I see some things that look familiar to me. Let's look over here and see if it matches. 9 times 9 over 7 times 9 minus 4 times 7 over 9 times 7. So even though this seemed to be a bit confusing, if you started out with what you know to do, you would have figured it out by seeing your numbers. And your correct answer choice here would be A. Some of these problems are somewhat difficult. And the thing that you need to think about, Joe, is that you always start with what you know. Now, I know that you didn't recognize those fractions with multiplication the way that the answers were presented on the paper, but you do know how to subtract fractions, and you do know how to turn a mixed number into an improper fraction. So if you had just started out with what you knew and then looked here on your paper, you would have easily been able to figure out the answer. So remember, Joe, you always start out with what you know. That helps me, Mrs. Salyer. I'm going to quit guessing and always think about what I know. Good job, Joe. I hope that straightens out any misunderstandings that you had out in RCL land, 5th graders, because I think some of you were probably like Joe, and when you saw the answer arrangement, you just really didn't know what to do. But start with what you know, and you'll be able to figure it out. Join us tomorrow for the next episode of The Joe Show.